Alrighty, well, we're going to get started here. So thank you so much, Balaj and GPM and Kate, for setting this up. It's an absolute honor to be a part of this opportunity and our awesome community with so much great information. So I've got a ton of info I want to run through you guys today. My name is Mathew Finlin. I'm going to tell you a little bit about who I am and why you should listen to me. And then I'm going to run you through mindset and discipline. I'm going to bring you up through some of my sales tactics and some of my leadership team development training. And then if we've got some leftover time, I'm going to train on some of the higher level science behind our amazing products. My name is Mathew Finlin. I'm from a small town called Rossland in British Columbia, Canada, 3,000 people, really tiny. And I now live in Hong Kong, where I operate my Enagic teams and do some other business as well. So my story really starts when I moved from my small town to Vancouver to go to BCIT. I met my best friend and my current upline, Josh Quay. Shout out Josh Quay. And what happened was I actually had to get a student loan to go to school, which I really didn't like. I despised the student loan, but I had to do it anyways. And my whole plan was I wanted to pay off my student loan. And then I wanted to, pay for my second year in cash. So I ended up getting a job. I ended up getting a job in door-to-door sales. So I was 20 years old when I actually learned what commission was. I didn't know what commission was. I only thought the way to make money was hourly. And when I heard commission, you can make unlimited amount of money. And it was based on how well you did. It was production-based income. I just couldn't believe it, because what always bothered me about like the 9-to-5 job routine was that like I could go in like hungover or really lethargic and, just put in a little bit of effort and I get paid the exact same amount as if I went in, I put my whole heart, mind, body, and soul into my work. And so that always just bothered me. So when I found out there was something called commission, the harder you work, the better you do, the more you get paid, it just blew my mind. My first week, I got promoted. My second week, I was training people. And by 3 months, I got offered the opportunity to move to Ontario. This was doing door-to-door sales, by the way. So it was the real raw stuff. Balaj knows about that. And this is where I got most of my information from. Most of my tactics and all my strategies were developed in the door-to-door, and I carried them over to the multi-level marketing space. It was just a perfect fit. So I had a really crazy schedule when I was in Ontario. From 9 a.m. till noon, I was interviewing people. From noon till 2, I would train my team just like I'm training you guys today. I'm going to be pulling out a whiteboard later. I'm a pretty old school guy. And then from 2 till 9, I would go and I would knock doors with my team. I would show them how to get the sales. From 9 to 11 at nighttime, I'd be running ads on Craigslist and Kijiji to try and recruit people to do interviews the following morning. I was really brand new to the whole sales thing, right? Like with 3 months, I got thrown to the other side of the country where I was recruiting people to actually train them how to get sales. And just 3 months ago, I learned what commission was. So I became really obsessed with the art of selling and how people would sell. Like, why does this guy sell more than that guy? How do people learn? I became obsessed with neuroscience. And what I really found was that first off is that people are their own worst enemy, and that there are really some awesome tricks and tools and that we can use to sell. Now, before I continue on, selling is not just, sell me this pen. Selling for me has always been the art of communicating effectively. So when you go into an interview, you're selling yourself. When you're having a debate with your loved one on where should we eat, that's a sale. So every time you're communicating with somebody and you just want it, you're trying to convince them of something, but you also want it to be a pleasant experience for both. That is the art of selling. So for the past 8 years, I have been aggressively pursuing neuroscience. I have just been, for everyone who knows me, I have just been obsessed with brain hacking and life hacking and just personal development. And so I've been pursuing it and practicing it to become the best version of myself, and in turn helping other people reach new heights for themselves. So I consistently broke sales records. So I always would come in and I would just break sales records. I had a really simple four-step process. The first one is I would master the sales process. The second is I would sell a ton of people. The third is I would teach people to sell. Then I would teach people to teach. And once you teach people to teach, you can go somewhere else because you have a self-sustaining operating business. So anyways, quickly here now, I ended up opening offices all across the country, primarily in Ontario and Nova Scotia. And I eventually decided to move back to Vancouver to open up there. I just had enough of Ontario, and Vancouver's beautiful. So I was back in Vancouver running my door-to-door sales teams. At the time, I actually also got hired as the youngest diamond consultant at Spence Diamonds. And I met up with my old dear friend, Josh Quay. I wanted to recruit him. So my intention was meeting Josh. I was going to pitch him on what I was doing door-to-door, the overrides, how awesome it is. And what happened was he brought me to my upline, Nee Nortiangman. And Nee broke down the Enagic's compensation plan for me. And when I saw that, I knew immediately this is what I was going to be doing full time. $1,000 per sale after only selling 11 people. And then when they get a sale, I make $1,000. Oh my, and this is global? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I knew immediately that this was the perfect fit for me. 3 years later, I'm on my way to 6A2, projected midway next year. I have done this 100% organically. I've spent $0 on ads, and I have what I believe to be the best PowerPoint presentation for Enagic on the planet. I have active teams, I should say, in Hong Kong, Canada, the UK, and Ghana. Okay, guys, so with all that being said, I'm going to dive into today's training. So thank you very much, everyone who's made it on here today for the live, and thank you for catching the replay. I'm going to start now. So our first topic today is mind state and discipline. So we're just going to start on talking about mind state. Ultimately, guys, everything comes down to knowing who you are, okay? Putting your ego to the side, recognizing your autopilot mode, like those things that you do when you're just on autopilot and you're not really paying attention, and those things you say when you're maybe angry, or ways that you react when you first wake up in the morning. I'm going to say this once, and I'll probably say it twice, 3, 4, 5 times. Awareness is everything. Okay, so I have far too much information to share it all today on our hour plus call, but I have lots of psychological articles, theories, and practices that I have been implementing and coaching people on for years with piles of results. So I'm not going to go too deep into them. If you want them, you can message me. You can message me directly. We're all in the GPM family. So please reach out to me. I'm happy to share my articles on psychological theories and practices. If you guys are taking notes, though, there's 2 that you can write down. And these are to know yourself, right? Know thyself. So important. So if you're taking notes here, you can write down this one. The first one is called the 5 big personality traits. 5 big personality traits. And the second one is called attachment theory. 5 big personality traits. Again, I'm not going to go too far into this, guys, but these are personality traits that everybody has, and you can measure yourself, and you can read them, and you can just kind of accept where you are. There's pros and cons to all of them, so it's important just to know who you are. Attachment theory is really, really interesting. So it hasn't been, I guess, empirically proven, but there's so much content on it. And attachment theory says that the relationships you have when you're older, business, personal with your loved one, friends, all of these are dictated by by something called attachment theory, and you develop your attachment styles based on the relationship you had with the masculine and feminine person in your upbringing, typically the mother and the father. So the way that they acted and the way that you perceive them drastically impact your autopilot mode with relationships in the future. I'm going to be sending you guys a mind-blowing video. It's going to be, Kate's going to organize it somehow that you guys are going to have access to it. It is absolutely mind-blowing. I've only shared this with maybe 10 people, but I'm going to share it with all of you guys. It's really, really heavy stuff. I'm going to be talking about it a little bit later. It's called God is in the Neurons, and it is just life-changing. It's a 20-minute video. I can't wait for you guys to see it. I saw this 7 years ago. It changed the game for me. It's going to change the game for you, whether you like it or not. Okay, so what I want to talk about now, guys, is something called AQ. You've heard of IQ, intelligent quotient. You've heard of EQ, probably. A lot of people have heard of that now. It's called emotional quotient. What I'm going to talk to you guys about today is what I consider to be the most important, and it's called AQ, adversity quotient, or adaptability quotient. This is not new, by the way. They've been able to measure this in people for over 20 years. I don't know why it's not talked about more. We talk about IQ, we talk about EQ. We don't talk about AQ, adversity quotient. They say that IQ dictates 20% of your success, and then EQ and AQ dictate 80% of your success. I've got another follow-up that you'll be seeing. It's from from Hong Kong, where I live now, that talks about EQ and AQ. It's really, really cool, really brief. But guys, what is AQ? What is adversity quotient? As I'm sure you've probably guessed, adversity quotient or adaptability quotient is your ability to handle your life when things don't go according to plan. And newsflash, things never, ever, ever go according to plan. They just don't. And how are you going to handle it? You know, the example I always use, right, is if you have someone that has really high IQ, really high EQ, he's the CEO, he's killing it, but then his mother dies, right? Is that going to completely derail him, his whole business? He's going to stop leading, stop showing up to work. He's just going to be mourning, and it's just going to derail his whole life. I always use that example, guys, because it's, you know, and I'll get into this when we're talking about leadership later, but like there's certain things in life that are basically inevitable. And one of those things is you outliving your parents, right? You're going to outlive your parents. It's just something that's going to happen. So hopefully, right? I would never pray. I wouldn't wish ever for it to be the opposite. That's something that's going to happen. It's going to suck. And it's going to happen probably when you don't expect it. But you have a responsibility. And your responsibility is for your life and your success. There's ways that we can develop our AQ. Okay? I know for sure Balaj 682-4, that man has been through some stuff for sure. He's definitely got high AQ. You can't get to 682-4 without high AQ. So again, if you guys are writing notes, I'll take it a little slow here, but I do have tons I want to still cover. But there's an acronym to developing AQ, and this is really, really important. And the acronym is CORE, C-O-R-E. C, control. O, ownership. R, reach. And E, endurance. C, control. When terrible things happen, when plans don't go according to plan, you need to see it, acknowledge that some sort of change is needed. This step is about evaluating what's causing the need for change. So you're stepping back and you're taking a look, okay, plan A didn't work. Why didn't it work? What's going on here? Why do we need to go to plan B? Preparing yourself to make the change and handling it with an open and candid manner. We need to be really fluid with our plans. O is ownership, and this is own it. You have to take ownership of the situation. Let go of what didn't work and own what's about to work for you. R is solving it. Reach, solve it, develop your action plan. Okay, so we saw the issue. We saw that planning is not going to work. Okay, that's fine. Let's do it. What are we going to do? Now, E is endurance. Of course, this is where all of the magic and money happen. Do it and execute the change. The first three is just talk. The last one is the action. Again, I've got tons of info on AQ. Pardon me. I've been teaching AQ for years and years. It's one of my favorite subjects to teach. So please, again, reach out if you want to learn more about AQ. I've got tricks easier. Guys, business can be considered like a professional sport. Okay, I say this all the time. They used it in my intro here today. What you do off the court is, if not more than on court, right? Like LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. What these guys did off the court, training, eating, sleeping, drinking enough water, thought processes they're having, practice, way more than what they actually did on the court. You win games on the court, you really games off the court. So I have a philosophy. This is a philosophy I'm working on. I'm going to be writing a book on it. Probably next year I will start. My philosophy for human potential. Okay, so the people have 5 pillars of human potential: the spiritual pillar, the mental pillar, the emotional pillar, the physical pillar, and the financial pillar. Those are the 5 pillars for human success. If you want more, again, please message me. I'm not going to go too deep into that now, but I will be writing a book on it in the upcoming years. I've been developing this for 4 years. It resonates with everybody that hears it. And yeah, it's just something I'm pretty proud of, and I can't wait to get into that more. So I'm just going to dive right into, guys, the brain, okay? Touching on the brain and how it functions optimally. Obviously, the brain is where basically everything happens. All those pillars I talked about, we can't even conceptualize them without the brain. So there are, from what I've found, there's 5 really key components that make the brain optimal. I've been trial and erroring this for years. I've been, on myself with my team for coming up 8 years now, door-to-door, multi-level market, Asia, Africa, Europe, North America. And the first one, guys, is sleep, okay? Unfortunately, I know probably 75% of you people on here, I'm guilty of it sometimes too. I've been a lot better this year, but I know your sleep pattern is probably thrown way off. There's something called a circadian rhythm. You may or may not have heard this before. Circadian rhythm is our natural sleep cycle, heavily dictated on the sun. Right? When the sun goes down, if you don't have any electronics and all that around you, the sun goes down, in 3 hours, you're going to be yawning. You can really tell this when you go camping. I don't know if you guys have ever gone camping and not brought your phones, but the sun goes down and you're asleep 3-4 hours later. Wake up right before the sun comes up, right as the sun's coming up. Again, I'm linked to share with you guys on this. I don't want to go too deep into it, but circadian rhythm makes a huge, huge difference. This year, I've been incredibly disciplined with these things. I've been going to sleep at 10 or 11. I've been waking up at 5 or 6 every single day, and it's made such a big difference. Like, I always read, millionaires up at 4 or 5. That's when they do that. I always read it. I thought, whatever, to make a difference. I'm from the hour. It's crazy actually thinking about it now. And again, it's easier said than done. The easiest thing is don't look at your phone. Just don't look at your phone. An hour before sleep, don't look at it. An hour when you wake up, don't look at it. It will change your life. It will change your business. The next is thought processes. Okay, so thoughts, it's like people have said thoughts lead to emotions, actions lead to habits or something, but I that because I think thoughts lead to actions lead to habits, and habits define who you are. There is no secret sauce, guys, to having a proper mind state. You just need to do the right things, right? Like, I've met so many people. I read this book, I read that book, I read this book. Probably everyone on here has read way more books than I have. It's just about doing it. It's just about doing it. What you need to do is you need to ask yourself why. I've got a super good TED Talks I'm going to be sharing with you guys on a simple way to break bad habits. It's all about being aware. Did I just, I am thinking this? Why is that the thought that just came into my head? Why am I the way I, you know, do I have trauma from past relationships, business, personal, you know, why am I? Who am I? Please check out the TED Talks. It's like 9 minutes long. I've helped people quit smoking from showing them this TED Talks. They actually use smoking as the example in the TED Talks. We'll talk about a bad habit. I've helped people quit smoking just from showing them this TED Talks and staying in contact with them. So how does the brain function optimally? Sleep, circadian rhythm, thought processes, always being aware of who you are and why you're doing what you're doing. Water. Okay, water, of course. We all better be drinking the best water on the planet on this call, all right? I don't need to go too deep into this. Your brain and your kidneys are 80 to 85% water. Your heart and your lungs, 75 to 80% water. Your muscles, liver, skin, 70 to 75% water. Your blood, 50% water. Your bones, 20 to 25% water. Your teeth, 8 to 10%. You have to drink enough water for your brain to function optimally. That's all there is to it. Okay, guys, and exercise. This is going to be my last point on talking about mind state. Exercise. I've been saying to everyone for this year now, exercise. You want to improve, you want to get your numbers up, you want to have a better business, you need to exercise more. Exercise. We're in the health and fitness industry, guys, health and wellness, right? You don't need to be super fit, but you at least need to be getting healthier. Otherwise, people won't believe you. Exercising increases your heart rate, which increases oxygen to the brain. It aids in the releasing of hormones, which is good for brain cell development. It promotes brain plasticity, which is new connections. It improves your memory, and it actually works as an effective antidepressant, releasing some of the same chemicals as the artificial ones that you're taking if you're taking antidepressants. Exercise, guys, literally any is better than none. It's like water. 1 glass of water is better than 0 glasses of water. If you're not exercising, do 20 push-ups a day. That's it. 20 push-ups a day, 20 jumping jacks. It'll change your life. It really will. The final thing before I go into the next point here, which is going to be discipline, guys, is my personal journey this year with exercise. So at the beginning of this year, I did a 100-day challenge where I exercised every single day for 100 days. It made such a huge, huge difference in my life. Well, I don't know what's going on right now. Yeah, it made such a huge difference in my life. So I'm just having something's happening on my computer here. I exercised every single day this year for 100 days straight, and I actually got sales from it. I couldn't believe it. People would simply see my discipline, and they were all over it. Okay, sorry guys, just having a little technical difficulty here. Of course, this happens. There we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, sorry about that, guys. There we go. That was really weird what my computer just did. Okay, all right. Okay, back on track here. Okay, so let's talk about mind state now. Mind state or discipline. Sorry, we talked about mind state. Let's talk about discipline, guys. Discipline. Look, there's no secret sauce to discipline as well. Motivation never lasts, but discipline will forever be your friend. Motivation never lasts. It doesn't. It just doesn't. But discipline does. Discipline will continue your motivation even when you're not motivated and you don't want to do it. There's no secret sauce. You must do what you want to do. Well, you must do what you don't want to do now so you can do whatever you want to do in the future. One of my good friends, Luke, he has this saying that he got from somewhere. Basically says like, you're sacrificing your future for your now, which is just so impactful for me to hear. Okay, so all you guys got to do for discipline, I do want to get on to my next point here, and we're already halfway through this. What you need to do for discipline, guys, is you just need to have those tough decisions with yourself that you don't want to have, all right? You just got to have those tough decisions with yourself. You got the devil and angel on your shoulder, guys. Don't listen to the devil. The devil on your shoulder says things like, do it later. You've done enough work today. don't let that sneak in. We all know it, right? Like, we all know it. We can always hear the devil's just talking in your ear. Like, oh yeah, no, good job. Like, yeah, no. Oh, it's not your fault that person didn't buy. It's their fault. Like, you can always hear it in there. Guys, it's not what you're willing to do. It's never what you're willing to do. In fact, one of my greatest mentors, I forgot about this. He said, show me your to-do list. And I was like, easy. Here's my to-do list. And he's like, show me your to-don't list. I was like, what do you mean to-don't list? He's like, look, everyone has a to-do list. Everyone has a list of things they want to do, they're going to do, that's going to make them successful. But what they don't have is a list of things they're going to stop doing. Your to-don't list. Forget your to-do list, guys. We have a pretty simple to-do list. It's stay in touch with our teams and bring new people to Enagic, right? What are you going to not do that's going to free up time? I have a really good time management exercise I just remembered right now. I call it 168. I'd love to share that with you guys sometimes as well. Warren Buffett says the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. I know you guys have heard this before. He's not talking about opportunities or things that require like open-mindedness or new ideas. He's talking about stupid decisions, sleeping in. I bet you he says no to that. Napping. I bet you he says no to that. Hanging with friends instead of going to that presentation. I bet you he says no to that. Playing video games. I'm pretty sure he's not playing video games. Wasting time in dead-end meetings. I bet you guys have been on Zoom calls that ran for 2-3 hours and it's just fluff. Nothing's actually going on. You're wasting your time. You need to say no. So I'm going to tell you guys my personal hack to discipline. Okay, I've got a personal hack. I've used it this year. I've exercised every single day this year. Every single day, 100% of them. It comes down to momentum. It's all momentum. What I noticed this year is just how actually powerful momentum is. Like, I'll be going good. And I'll be like, you know what? I'm just going to rest for 30 minutes. Boom, 3 hours goes by. And it's so hard to get started again. You start slacking off early, your day will be gone, and vice versa. I notice the days when I hop up out of bed, shower, make my bed, make breakfast and coffee within like 30, 45 minutes, and I'm just rolling along, right? Meditate, yoga, boom, boom, boom. It's so easy to bring that into my business. Those first hours of the day I was telling you about, the first hour or two, I'm just boom, working on myself. Like I exercise every morning. I do yoga. I meditate. I'm cleaning my house, doing dishes. And it just carries into all of my business meetings. And you can just tell people are like, they just feed off of that level of actual professionalism and care that I'm bringing to my own life. It comes down to awareness. So when you're going, it's so easy to say, take a break. So easy. Yeah, just take a break. You've been doing good. Say no. Say no as much as you can to the devil on your shoulder. And at the end of the day, guys, you're only trying to impress one person, yourself. Test yourself, push yourself. Almost every day, I'm like crashing into bed. I'm like, oh, whoa, I tackled that day and I'm exhausted. If you're not doing that every day, you need to start doing that every single day, guys. Seriously. Habits take X amount of days to break and X amount of days to form. We all know this. This is why discipline is your friend and motivation is not, because it's look, there's so many different 15 days to form, 15 days to break. I've seen 21 days to form, 21 days to break. Let's say it's 21 to form, 21 to break. That's 6 weeks. You're not going to stay motivated for 6 weeks. It's just not going to happen. But you will stay disciplined for 6 weeks because discipline never dies unless you let it. So in terms of forming these new habits, we need to be incredibly disciplined and focused. The final thing, guys, that I found from this year is that discipline bleeds from one pillar to another. Remember, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, financial. This year, I put all of my discipline at the beginning of the year into my physical pillar. I was drinking water. I was eating a proper diet. I was sleeping. I was exercising every single day. And that discipline, I'm telling you, it bled everywhere. It bled right into my financial pillar, my emotional pillar. I was able to have higher EQ, my mental pillar, even more so, my spiritual practices. Just start the discipline somewhere, guys, and don't give up on it. Okay, so I'm going to just now talk about the final piece of this, and it's going to be a really nice leeway into our second talk, which is going to be about sales tactics, leadership, and team development. And I'm going to talk about my favorite topic, which is mirror neurons. You guys may or may not have heard of mirror neurons before. Again, the video that I sent you, God is in the neurons. It is game changing. Watch it. If you don't watch anything else, watch that video. Mirror neurons, guys. There are neurons in your brain called mirror neurons. Mirror neurons do not know the difference between itself and others. So it literally means right now, all of you guys watching this on the live or on the replay, right now, you guys think you're a bearded white man living in Hong Kong with a Christmas tree behind him talking to you. You think you're me. There's a part of you that is me right now, and there's nothing you can do about it. Mirror neurons originally developed because we're pack animals and but some other examples of mirror neurons is like if you say you play basketball, right? You play basketball. Every time you see someone shoot a free throw, your brain does the exact same thing. You're watching it on TV, you see the guy dribble, pass. Your brain is doing the same thing while you're sitting there drinking your kangen water. This is the scientific proven example of you are who your friends are. Show me the 5 people you see the most, I will show you your future. 100%, and we've got scientific data to show you that why. This is very important, by the way. Very, very important. You must be serious about who you're spending your time with, who you're seeing, and who you're thinking. It will change your life, 1,000%. The final thing is that when you're aware of mirror neurons, okay, and this is going to bring me into my sales tactics in a bit, I'll bring it up, but when you're aware of your mirror neurons, you can be around people that I would consider toxic. Be aware of your mirror neurons. Be like, look, mirror neurons, I am not that person. I am not going to reflect them. I am my own self. And then you also, while you're aware of your mirror neurons, you're going to be aware of theirs. I'm aware that that person sees themselves as me, a part of them as me right now. Again, tons of info on mirror neurons. Please hit me up for more, but do check out that video, guys. It is really, really game-changing. Okay, that's enough about mind state and discipline. We're going to move right into sales tactics now. So this is the name of the game. This is why I'm sure many of you guys are here. 100% of my sales have been organic. I've spent 0 on ads, and I've done it through a few things. Okay, so guys, the first thing I want to talk about today is something called the law of averages. Law of averages basically says as frequency increases, so does likely outcomes. Okay, so let me bring you an example here. The more people that you pitch for an AGIC, the more no's you're going to get, and the more yeses you're going to get. It just is. And it's called a law for a reason. It's not a theory, it's a law. So my personal experience with the law of averages in sales was a really impactful one. I was knocking doors in North Vancouver. So I first started my sales job, right, guys? And my day one, I'm taking notes. I just learned what commission was. I'm not pretending to know anything. And my manager told me about the law of averages. I was like, yeah, right. What do you mean 1 in 20 people for new starts? I don't think so. It matters on me. It matters on the weather, the neighborhood I'm knocking doors in. Probably rich neighborhoods are more likely to buy. I had all these things. And it was 1 out of 20. And I went out to prove him wrong. I set out to prove him wrong. My first day, I spoke with 46 people and I got 2 sales. So 1 out of 23. I was like, all right, okay. Second day, same thing, 44 people, 2 sales. I was like, all right. Third day, guys, and this is where it gets crazy. Third day, I remember it so clearly. It was in North Vancouver. It was 8:30 p.m. at night. We knock until 9. It was 8:30 p.m. I'd spoken to 63 people and I was at 0 sales. I was like, ha, I knew law of averages didn't work. We have this rule in door-to-door that when you're ready to quit, you talk to 5 more people, whether you had a good day or a bad day. When you're ready to quit, you talk to 5 more people. First door I knocked on, boom, sale. Oh, okay, so now I'm at 1 out of 64. All right, whatever. Second sale, second door, another sale. Boom, 2 out of 65. I was like, oh my goodness. Next sale, next door, sale. Boom, 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 like clockwork, bang, bang, bang. So I ended that day with 3 sales and 66 people spoke to. And those final 3 came in the last hour there. So what I'm getting at with this law of averages, guys, is let's say for an AGIC, it's 1 out of 15 people that you or your upline present for that are going to buy. 1 out of 15. It doesn't mean that when you're at 14 no's, 15 is going to be the yes. That's not what it means. But what it does mean is that every no past that, you're getting significantly closer to your sale. I love this because with this mind state, you can never lose in sales. I love getting no's. I get a no and I'm like, yes, one step closer to a yes. And it works. It just works. I've got another video for the follow-up you guys are going to get. It's 5 minutes. It just simply works. One thing that guys are going to be getting is called Mathew Finlin's Direct Sales 101 Handbook Volume 1. This is a little handbook I made up. Oh man, this must have been 7 years ago now. I just typed it up real quick in a flurry from all the research I'd done. And I still use it to this day. Really simple techniques, things that are going to help you get sales, direct sales, whatever industry you're in. I'm going to cover a few of them here today, and then you can just look at the rest. So there's something that I've called the 8 keys to success. Okay, the 8 keys to success. The first one is a positive attitude, and the second one is attitude maintenance. Basically a key to thinking about it now. You have to have a positive attitude. You can't have a negative attitude. Oh, I think it's too expensive. Oh, my upline isn't helping me anymore. And now there's no excuses, guys. Your positive attitude is your responsibility and your responsibility alone. The next one is attitude maintenance. Am I frozen? Oh yeah, no, the next one is attitude maintenance. Sorry, I thought it was frozen there. Attitude maintenance. So you obviously need to maintain your own attitude. The next one is be on time and be prepared. Be on time and be prepared. Do not be late. There's so many reasons why you should not be late, but one of the reasons primarily is that if you're late for your own pitch, you're technically, and I can get more into this maybe later on another call, but you're walking into their home turf if you're late. You need to be the first person there. You need to be there before your prospect shows up. And of course, you need to be prepared. The next one is work a full day, okay? So work a full day, guys, and this can be whatever you said. If you're doing a magic full time, you need to be putting in 8 hours a day. Come on. If you're not doing it full time, a full day is going to be whatever you decide. But whatever you decide, whether it's 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day, 10 hours a day, whatever you set, you work that full day. The next one is work your network. So you have to work your whole network, guys, and your network is not just who you know, it's who they know too. One of my greatest mentors told me that your sale is not done until you've gotten 3 referrals. So you can close them, they can buy a machine, especially in Magic, of course, we're always after more referrals from the people that we close. That's the name of the game. But work that network, guys. You need to hit them all up and hit their people up and hit their people up. Finally, the final 2 is know your goals and take control. So I've got tons of lessons on proper goal setting, because setting proper goals can even make or break your sales teams. I've seen entire sales teams get dispersed because the goals were too ridiculous. You need to know your goals. You need to set SMART goals. You can Google that, SMART goals. Google that. That's really useful. You need to know your goals, and knowing your goals means that, like, when you set them, you do everything you can to achieve them and you don't quit a little early. Taking control, finally, is when you just take control of it all. Okay, take control of your business. The best thing about multi-level marketing is that you are at the top. So there's too many people in our industry that blame the people above them for them not succeeding. You look down at your business. That's the way multi-level marketing works. You are at the top. Take control of that. I've got some more I was going to go over now, but there's only 20 minutes left. I've got more I want to cover. You guys are going to get the full handbook anyways. Give it a read. It's a really, really great thing. Yeah, I got to skip that part too. Sorry, I knew this was going to happen. So we're going to talk about leading by example now. Okay, we're going to start getting into leadership here. Leading by example, guys, there's no secret sauce. There is no secret sauce. I've been trying for 8 years to find the secret sauce. There's no secret sauce. There's way too many people, especially in our industry, especially in our business, that are do as I say, not as I do people. AKA what I call fake leaders. They're not actually doing these things. They're just telling you what you should do, but they're not actually doing it. They talk about it. They aren't actually about it. They're not being about it. They're just talking about it. Steve Jobs has one of my favorite quotes of all time. It says, if you want to make everyone happy, then don't be a leader. Sell ice cream. Leading is about being the voice that people need. not the voice they want. Tough conversations with people is the name of the game, and you are their reality checker. You need to be the person that says, look, you set that goal and you did a good job, but you didn't hit it. Why didn't you hit it? Was that goal too ambitious? Did you actually do everything you need? Are you being aware? Are you sleeping properly? Do you drink enough water? Are you exercising? Are you doing the things you need to do to succeed? That's what being a leader is. Not everyone should be a leader, and that is okay. Now, let me just touch on this quickly. What I mean is that there are different levels in the leadership game. Anyone that can do something and show someone else how to is technically a leader. Anyone who motivates and inspires other people is a leader. But to be a real, true, top-tier leader, it takes a lot. And not everybody is made for that, and that's okay. That's totally, totally okay. We need all the different players on the field to win the game. It's really critical, though, that you guys are able to recognize if you're talking to a real top-tier leader or not. Guys, if you want your team to get more sales, there is one way to do it. One way. I've tried all the other ways. There's one way. At least there's some ways that are like, I call them here today, gone tomorrow bubbles. Like all this hype stuff happens and everyone's doing this and then, oh, it's getting sales, but then the bubble bursts. No one's got teams. No one's got skill sets. No one's getting any more sales. There's only one way that will stand the test of time. And that is, if you want your team to get sales, you need to be getting sales. Using skill sets, not using some little program that you plug into. If you want to stand the test of time with you and your business, you need to know what you're doing, know what you're talking about, and get sales. It's the only way you and your team will produce. Finally, guys, team develop. Oh yeah, and of course, because before I go on, but why would people believe what you have to say if they don't see results? If you want your team to get sales, but you're not getting sales, why would they? Why? Like, it creates cognitive dissonance, just the even act of doing that. Your team needs to see you getting sales. And if you're not getting sales, then stop focusing on leadership. Start focusing on yourself. Build yourself. Build all these things I spoke about today to work on to actually start getting more sales. Now, guys, I'm just going to touch on some points about team development. This is the name of the game. This is my favorite thing. This is what I've been doing 7 years. It's no laughing matter, team development. And there are some key points that I have observed and practiced and observed people not doing and seen their teams fall apart that I haven't done at times. And I've lost my own teams because I stopped doing these things. The first super important part for team development and team leadership, guys, is consistency or reliability. You cannot go ghost and expect to lead a team. You must be available. You must be consistent. You must do the things that these people need to see. They will replicate you. They will follow you. And if you're going ghost, so will they. And they're not strong enough to go ghost. The second thing is you need results and knowledge. On and off the court, you must be inspiring and motivating. Patience. People will try your patience. Oh my goodness. But it's up to you to be that firm, consistent, reliable, results-driven, knowledge-based leader. Be that firm pillar for them. Always. They're going to get emotional. They're going to blame you. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. They're going to disappear for a year and come back. That's fine. Be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day. We're building Rome. The final one is, and this could be the most important, it's hard to say, but communication. 9 times out of 10, your team will not initiate the conversation with you. And of course, we want people to be taking initiative and initiating these conversations, but 9 times out of 10, they won't. And the people that are initiating the conversation, chances are they're a natural born leader anyways. It's your job to, as a leader, to be their friend. But it's also your job as a leader to lead them, pull them where they're going, where you're going. They otherwise they will fall off. Okay, guys, I really slammed that out. I do want to get to this though, because I've had a ton of people, even from the GPM group, kind of reach out to me about this topic. I'm just gonna do a little bit of like light chemistry work here for all of you. I'm just gonna be talking about, guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm basically gonna show you guys how the atom works, water molecules, the active hydrogen, the free radicals, and how our machine actually creates an antioxidant. Because this is, I'm pretty sure, the most powerful component. From all of the research I've been doing, the active hydrogen, the H2, it's the real name of the game, guys. You're doing yourself a massive, massive disservice if you're saying alkaline water. If you're saying alkaline water to people, you're shooting yourself in the foot. We have ionized alkaline water, or according to scientific articles, it's called electrically reduced water. Say ionized, do not say alkaline water. There is a huge difference between kangen water and bottled alkaline water, a massive difference. Okay, so I'm not sure if I can share my screen or not, but I'm gonna just give it a shot and see if it works. Where's my little thing there? Probably in there. Okay, no. Thank you guys for hearing me rant on like that for a solid 50 minutes now. I do love doing training. Okay, so I'm just gonna open this real quick here. If I'm allowed to, let's see, share screen. Is this gonna work? Yeah. Yeah, nice. Okay, solid. Okay, so guys, what we're looking at here is the periodic table of elements. We're not going to get all lost in the sauce here. I just want to point out one thing to you guys, okay? So the periodic table of elements, this is our Lego of the universe. These are the things that make up the things that we know. These are atoms, okay? These are atoms. Here we've got alkali metals. Here we've got alkaline earth metals, okay? But here we've got hydrogen, almighty hydrogen. So I'm just going to show you guys this here. Can I go up at all? Okay, well, I hope this is good enough and you guys can see this here. There's something called an atomic number, okay? Atomic number, the symbol, the name, tons per shell, okay? So typically the electrons per shell, in fact, always, the electrons per shell equals the atomic number. So guys, remember over here, we've got oxygen with 8 and hydrogen with 1. Okay, so I'm just gonna break all this down here for you guys. Okay, I'm in my suit at my house. Super funny, but let me just get this going here. Okay, guys, so get my little handy dandy house whiteboard out. Righty. Look at that, good to go. Okay. Okay, guys. So, like I said, I'm a really old school guy. This is how I do my trainings 90% of the time. Okay, guys. So an atom. So, guys, an atom is this thing. Like when you see this, like there's like this, like you guys have probably seen this like unit, and they always see that thing flying around. This is showing you an atom. Okay, an atom is made up of 3 things. It's made up of positively charged protons. It's made up of neutral charged neutrons. And it's made up of negatively charged electrons. You'd think after all these years, my writing would be better on whiteboards. Okay, guys, so keep this in mind. We have positively charged protons, neutral charged neutrons, and negatively charged electrons. Okay, guys, so hydrogen, you remember what I just showed you guys, the atomic number for hydrogen was 1, okay? So what this means is in the nucleus of the hydrogen, we have 1 proton and 1 neutron. and flying around the outside in the shell is 1 electron. Okay, guys, this is hydrogen. Oxygen has 8, right? Its symbol is 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the nucleus, we have 8 positively charged protons, 8 neutral charged neutrons, and flying around the outside, we have 8 negatively charged electrons. Okay, guys, this is oxygen. Okay? What happens with oxidation, right? We all know that our water is antioxidant, right? But why is it antioxidant? There is something called a free radical. Okay, guys, this is a stable oxygen atom here, right? We've got 8 of these, 8 of these, 8 of these. It's nice and stable. An unstable oxygen atom, referred to as a free radical, is missing electrons. Okay, so it's missing an electron there, and it's missing an electron there. This is called a free radical. Guys, this is what causes us to age. What happens is we breathe in these free radicals, and because they're missing electrons, they want to take electrons. So these actually come into our body, and they take electrons from our healthy atoms. This is what causes us to age. So how do we create an antioxidant? You guys have heard of active hydrogen before. We have hydrogenated water. I'm actually going to take a little sip. Oh, that's good. Free radicals come into our body, oxygen atoms that are missing electrons. What happens, guys, is we have this active hydrogen. We have this hydrogen that actually attaches to the free radicals. Okay? Creating water. So I'm just going to quickly run you guys through this part now. Okay, so what is actually going on here? So what happens is we have a water molecule, H2O. So this is going to consist of our oxygen, which has the 8 of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is our oxygen, but then we have a hydrogen that's attached to it, and another hydrogen that's attached to it. And now we can see we have 2 H's, hydrogen, hydrogen, and an oxygen. This is a water molecule. Using the electrolysis process, guys, what we actually do is we actually break this hydrogen off of the water molecule. I got a really good picture I'm going to send you guys after that shows like a dissection of the machine and what's happening. So we actually separate. What that does, guys, is this now comes out of the gray tube out of the bottom, and it's highly acidic, right? It's highly reactive, it's oxidative. And we have this hydrogen that comes out of the machine. This is the active hydrogen that seeks out and neutralizes those free radical scavengers in our body. This is why our water is so ridiculously healthy for us. Active hydrogen that gets split up through the electrolysis process. Okay, fantastic. I'm super happy I got all that done. Okay, guys, well, I'm going to pretty much conclude this now, right on time. I thought almost for sure I would be running over. I want to say thank you again to Balaj and the whole GPM team for letting me get on here and share a little bit about my story and some of the things that I know. I'd be honored to have anyone message me with questions. And just thank you so much, everyone. I'm really grateful for the opportunity, grateful for Enagic. How amazing is our company? Oh my goodness, how amazing is our GPM community? It's really mind-boggling for me at this point. We're so blessed, especially during these times, like to have a product that really, really provides us with health and hypochlorous acid during these times. Like we have a opportunity. I'm one of the few people I know that his business has only continued to get better this year. I know so many of my friends are out of jobs, out of work, and now they're coming to me like, oh, Matt, I really wish I joined 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And I'm like, it's okay. Let's go. We are so blessed. If you guys are seeing this right now, especially live, you guys are 10 steps ahead of probably everyone that you know. So it's time to take this seriously. 2020 was an absolute wake-up call for everyone, I'm pretty sure. 2021 is around the corner. Let's go, guys. Let's go. I want to see rank ups. 6As, 6As, 6A2s, 6A2s. Let's go. All right, guys, please message me with what you think of all the follow-ups that we send out. And I'm going to wrap it up now. So thanks a lot, guys, and peace and love. And Merry Christmas.